Welcome back to Cossy Arsenal Podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is your latest Arsenal news and transfer news. Going to be delving into the latest around Arsenal in the transfer market. Mohammed Kudus to Arsenal is back on as Brighton have failed to agree personal terms with Kudus. We'll be delving into Balogun because Monaco have sent Arsenal a second offer written and that has been rejected. Jorginho is injured, but of course we'll be talking about Raya as Fabrizio Romano has just confirmed in the latest video he's put out on YouTube that Raya to Arsenal is imminent. It's going to happen this week before the Nottingham Forest game. Hit the like button, subscribe to the podcast as well. Let me know in the comment box below. Do you think Mohammed Kudus will transform Arsenal, especially where Martin Odegaard is in terms of squad depth? Do you think he can give us that ability to rest Odegaard, rotate Odegaard, and also rotate Bukayo Saka? How much do you rate him as a player, and how much do you like him as a player? Let's get this video to 500 likes, and let's dive into the latest around Arsenal. Now, the biggest one is around Mohammed Kudus. Of course, we know that Brighton have agreed a 40 million euro deal with with Ajax. That was way back in July. The story came out a couple of days ago, but the agreement is since July, according to Fabrizio Romano. However, Arsenal have spoken to the player, Arsenal have spoken to the player's interest and the player's side, and they believe they're ahead in terms of where the player wants to go. The problem with this deal and the problem for Brighton is there are two big clubs ahead of them in terms of signing Mohammed Kudus. One is Chelsea and the next one is Arsenal. Mohammed Kudus looks at that Arsenal project and it goes, how about if I play under Mikel Arteta? How about if I become another part of this very good machine at Arsenal? Now, this is what is happening in that deal. First and foremost, Arsenal have not made any formal offers to Ajax. The reason we need to sell in order to buy Mohammed Kudus. So when we had that there was an agreement between Brighton and Ajax, pretty much the deal was done. Now, this is where Arsenal get the advantage, and this is where we get back into the deal. So Brighton, ever since July, ever since actually June, have been talking to Mohammed Kudus and they've been trying to persuade him to sign for them, to join them. And they've also gone ahead to agree a deal with Ajax. Now, what I don't understand here is why would Ajax and Brighton agree a price if the player is not even convinced about playing for Brighton? So the interest at Mohammed Kudus' side feels like the player should be playing for a bigger side, probably Arsenal, probably Chelsea. I'm not saying he 100% wants Arsenal, but he wants Arsenal more than Brighton. That is where the problem is. So the players refuse to agree personal terms or give the green light to Brighton to actually get him on the medical and do everything like that. So what Ajax have done is they have set an ultimatum for this deal. They have told Kudus and his entourage, you've got to give us an answer. You've got to sort out your future very, very quickly. If you're gonna stay, you've got to tell us that in the next 48 hours. If you're going to go to Brighton, to Arsenal, to Chelsea, you've got to decide in the next 48 hours. Now, this is where Arsenal do get an advantage, and this is where this deal could actually turn. So we know Balogun has a couple of suitors, and I'm going to talk about his potential suitors down here. We know Arsenal will get some money from the sale of Balogun. Could Arsenal speculate that we can get around 30-35 million euros from the sale of Balogun, table that money for Mohammed Kudus, and make our squad a little bit stronger? Mikel Arteta loves the player. He understands him. He studied him. He's actually talked to him. And the player is really convinced Arsenal would be a very good destination. However, it looks like Brighton might get that green light if Arsenal don't bid in the next 48 hours. So what I'm thinking here is that Arsenal have to be very serious if you're going to get it done. If we are going to hijack the deal, we're going to be very serious and we're going to be very, very quick. However, that deal is still very, very open. Mikel Arteta is very happy to sign the player. It won't be easy. It's one of those where Brighton could increase the price. They've already agreed a 40 million euro deal, but I won't be surprised if Arsenal check in and Brighton increased the deal to maybe 45 million, 50 million euros. What Arsenal don't want to do at the moment is enter a bidding war. It would be ridiculous. It would be senseless. It would be for nothing. We already have one of the best midfields in the Premier League. All we have to do is strengthen. So if Kudus is going to be very pricey and very expensive, I won't be surprised to see Arsenal walk and get another deal done. Now, talking about midfielders, yesterday Jorginho didn't play in the Community Shield. It has been now revealed that Jorginho didn't play in that game courtesy of a muscular problem. I'm not really sure why a couple of injuries have actually surfaced in preseason. You remember the one for Brice Nelson. I don't know whether he ended the season with that injury or actually he picked up in preseason. You have that one for Declan Rice, which was actually very, very short. You have the one for Gabriel Jesus. You have the one for Alexander Zichenko, where he actually came back and then had a setback. But injuries should actually stay away from our squad. We need our players fit. We really, really need our players at their best. But Jorginho is going to be back very, very soon. It is not expected to be a big problem, and I don't expect it to be actually huge. If it was that huge, Mikel Arteta would be all over it in his press conference, but it looks like Georgie will be back very, very soon. Vital player for Arsenal, vital player in terms of leadership, in terms of his character, in terms of experience and pedigree. We need him in and around the squad. I can also confirm that Jorginho will be staying at Arsenal, despite the fact that there are rumors for him to join Lazio, for him to go back to Napoli, for him to go to Fenerbahce. The player is happy at Arsenal, and according to all signs, Jorginho will be staying put at Arsenal Football Club. Now let's talk about Florian Balogun, because it looks like Arsenal are just enjoying rejecting offers. After rejecting a couple of offers from Inter Milan, which were actually short of 35 million euros, Arsenal rejected 2 verbal offers in a space of 1 week from Monaco. So after the game in the Emirates Cup, Arsenal received a verbal offer from Monaco to sign Florian Balogun. There is a good relationship between the two sporting directors of both clubs, but Edu turned the deal down. He said, look, listen, we are good mates. You've always played in the Emirates Cup. You've always been here, and we always do get some players from Monaco. But I tell you what, we are not going to give you Florian Balogun for that offer. You've got to make it better, you've got to make it bigger, and make it formal as well. So this evening, according to David Ornstein, Monaco have just done that. They have made their offer formal, they've made their offer written, and they've sent it to Arsenal, and it has been rejected. Now the problem is that David Ornstein actually does not state how much money Monaco have sent in, how much money Arsenal were going to receive for the services of Florian Balogun, but I think it is between 25 to 35 million euros. I think this is the first time Arsenal have been very strong in negotiations. We've been very strong in negotiations. We've told all clubs around the world, you either give us above 50 million or we are not selling. And all the clubs coming into this deal are trying to give us 30, 35, 25. And Arsenal have been very, very, very careful and very strong. They're saying you test our resolve as much as you want. You can test our patience as much as you want. We are not going to give you Florian Balogun for pennies. We're not going to give you Florian Balogun for peanuts. Now, I have a problem. Balogun really wants to go to Inter Milan, and I've written it here on my notes as I was preparing for this video. But Inter Milan, according to David Ornstein, might not be able to afford the player. Yes, they have that 50 million euros, lying around from the sale of Onana, but they will try to make their financial situation better. Italian clubs are really in a precarious situation financially, and Inter Milan is no exception. They are also in a very bad financial situation. So, according to David Ornstein, they might not be able to afford him. Like I said and reported this early morning, there are a couple of clubs interested apart from Inter. West Ham, who have the money, Monaco, who have sent in 2 bids, a couple of other Premier League clubs like Crystal Palace, and one more club from France, which is actually Lens. So Monaco have actually surprised me. I thought they didn't have the money to even come close to bidding for the player, but it looks like they're really serious about signing. They're really, really serious, and they are really interested. So let's wait and see what's going to come out of there. Florian Balogun has been posting Inter Milan all over his Instagram. Does he want to go there? Yes. Do they have the money to buy him and pay for him? I'll give you a call when I get that answer. Lastly, Fabrizio Romano has been talking about the latest transfers around the Premier League, including Arsenal's David Raya deal. And he said this week, before the Nottingham Forest deal, that Raya man will be an Arsenal player. Now, Romano says there are negotiations ongoing between Arsenal and Brentford at the moment. Currently, as we speak, the deal is on the brink of happening. After a very, very good game against Manchester City, Mikel Arteta came out and said, we are bringing in Raya for only competition. We are not going to bring him to, right away throw Aaron Ramsdale away out of the starting 11. We are bringing him for competition, and now that deal is very close, according to Fabrizio Romano. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe to the podcast as well. More of those shorter videos coming your way. Your Premier League predictions are coming your way as well. So make sure you don't go anywhere. I'll see you right in the next one. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe. Let me see you soon.